Have you ever sat down to make a big decision about your life, your career, your relationships, and felt completely overwhelmed by the noise? The opinions, the expectations, the endless scroll of how-to content that just leaves you more paralyzed. One of the most life-altering choices you ever make begins not with more information, but with total silence. A few years ago, I was at a major crossroads. Stay in a stable job I'd outgrown, or leap into the unknown to build this channel. And I made the classic mistake. I asked everyone. I polled my friends. I read every article. I drowned in podcasts. The result? Total gridlock. Today, I want to share a different way. This isn't about thinking harder. It's about listening deeper. By the end of this video, you'll have 1. A clear understanding of why external noise sabotages your clarity. 2. A simple 3-part framework to create your own decision-making silence. And 3. Actionable steps to hear your own answer. Let's begin. We operate under a massive assumption that better decisions come from more data, more advice, more success stories, more pros and cons lists. But here's the truth. Most of that isn't data. It's static. This static has sources. The committee. Everyone from your parents to LinkedIn influencers has a vote in your head. The highlight reel. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's curated success. The fear protocol. Our brains are wired to scan for risk, shouting warnings that feel like truth. Common advice says get a mentor or do your research, which often just adds more well-meaning voices to the choir. When was the last time you truly heard your own voice in that mix? So if the answer isn't out there, where do we turn? We create a vacuum, a quiet space where the only voice left is the one that matters. I call this the silent session. It's not meditation in the traditional sense. It's a structured, intentional withdrawal of noise to make one single choice. The core concept is this. Your wisest decision already exists within you. Silence is the tool that uncovers it. Think of your mind like a pond after a storm. The water is churned up, muddy, you can't see a thing. All that advice and anxiety are the wind and the rain. The silent session isn't about staring harder at the murky water. It's about stopping the storm and allowing everything to settle. Only then can you see clearly what's been at the bottom all along. This settling doesn't happen by accident. It requires a simple, repeatable ritual. Here's how you build your own silent session. Step 1. The physical reset. This is non-negotiable. You need 90 minutes. Tell people you're unavailable. Go to a park, a quiet library, even your parked car. Leave your phone behind, or put it on airplane mode. This isn't a luxury. It's the cost of admission for a life-changing decision. You are physically declaring, this matter is important. Step 2. The download dump. Now, with a notebook, you download everything in your head. Every fear, every piece of advice, every what if. Don't edit, don't judge. Just drain the static onto the page. This is where you externalize the committee. Seeing it on paper robs it of its power. What are you left with when the gossip of your own mind is silenced? Step 3. The 2-question filter. With a clear mind, ask yourself only 2 questions. First, which option makes me feel stronger, not just safer? Not what's easiest, but what builds your integrity. Second, looking back at 85, which path will I be glad I took? This long lens cuts through short-term fear. When I used this for my career leap, my download dump was full of fears about stability, what people would think. But after the dump, in the quiet, the 2 questions were stark. The safe job made me feel small. The leap, though terrifying, made me feel capable. And at 85, I knew I'd regret the security blanket, not the attempt. The decision was suddenly clear. It was felt, not argued. A client, let's call her Maya, was torn between a high-paying corporate role in New York and a lower-paying role at a nonprofit she loved here in the Midwest. Her noise was all about prestige and shoulds. In her silent session, the download dump revealed a deep fear of being seen as unambitious. But the 2 questions? The nonprofit made her feel purposeful and strong. At 85, she pictured a life of stories of impact, not just bonuses. She chose the nonprofit. 3 years later, she's leading a team, her work has tangible meaning, and she told me, the quiet decision was the only real one I ever made. Let's bring it all together. First, recognize that the noise of opinions and comparisons isn't helping, it's hiding your answer. Second, embrace the shift. create a vacuum of silence so your inner wisdom can surface. And third, take the 3 steps: the physical reset, the download dump, and the 2-question filter. Here's a question for you to sit with in your own moment of quiet. What is one decision you've been avoiding because you're waiting for permission or a perfect sign from the outside world? What if that sign will only ever come from within? Making a choice this way isn't reckless. It's the opposite. It's the most respectful thing you can do for your future self. You are not lost. You are just buried under noise, and you have everything you need to find your way. Now, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments, share just one word for the kind of silence you need most right now. Is it digital silence, social silence, or inner silence? Your one word helps our community remember we're not alone in this. If this resonated, please like this video. It helps me create more content that values depth over volume. And subscribe for more. Next week, we're talking about the 90-day quiet project, transforming your output by changing your input. It's the practical guide to building a life that doesn't just look successful, but feels deeply sustainable. Until then, give yourself the gift of a little quiet. I'll see you in the comments.